Um, this is Vivi here, and welcome to the Sunday book discussion live. This is the fifth live. Um, every I discuss a chapter of my book. It's a topic that's kind of relate to a chapter of my book, a theme in the story that I share in the book. So we are in the fifth week, and this is the fifth chapter. So before that I go into the discussion, if anyone on the other side of, please leave a chat in a comment whether you can hear me well, the volume and everything is good. Hopefully someone is there. If anyone is there, say hi and let me know if you can hear me well, see me well. Hopefully the volume is because the last previous videos there were some issues with the microphone, and yesterday when I did the recording it seems like there's a bit of issue as well. So that's what I'm asking. If there's any issue, you can't hear me, and if there's lacking, please let me know. I can do adjustment for the microphone for a little bit. Maybe it's still a bit early and no one is here yet. Okay. I'm just gonna guess that's everything is gonna go well here. Okay, I'm just gonna go into the discussion of this week, and book is kind of special for me because this is the chapter where I talk about the beginning of my immigration and where I started my van life. About the reason why I started my van life when I first immigrated to Canada. When I was in Vietnam, just sorted things out and get ready for my move to Canada. I did about the lifestyle in Canada, what I wanted to do, and hi Maury, if you can hear me well. If there's any issues with the audio, okay, that's my concern. Asked earlier if you can hear me well, or if you don't hear me, if there's any lagging, let me know. But yeah, the discussion of this week, why I started my van life. Yeah, so when I was back in Vietnam, I moved back to the US. It was kind of like a new beginning for me to have the opportunity to immigrate to Canada. Thank you. It's okay, it's good. Thank you. So I was really questioning whether what I really wanted to do. Like I would just envision my life, what it would be like to have a brand new start, a brand new beginning. Like what is it that I really want to do in my life right now? Of course, I didn't know. I didn't know what I wanted, but what I knew was that I didn't want to go back to the life that I had in the US. So sometimes you may not know what you want in life, and it's much easier to know what you don't want. So often when we observe what we don't want, it will give us some of direction. At least you know that's not an opportunity for you, or you don't want to do it anymore. So you try something new. That's like a different compass, a new indication for you to have a different start. And that's what I did. I knew that I didn't want to have the corporate life. I knew that I didn't want to um, work in as an engineer anymore. So what's next, right? What I really want to do now. And even though I didn't know what would happen in Canada, the only thing that I knew was my passion for traveling. And I think all of us have um, certain passion within us. Like you gotta have like some kind of interest, some kind of hobby, something that you really love to do. Like you would do it regardless of whether you get paid or not, whether like would just try to save all your free time and you would spend time doing that. Yeah, so that is like a sign and something for you there. And if you keep exploring that passion, that interest, that hobby, something is gonna open up. So because I knew that I wanted to travel, I wanted to have the time to explore and travel my interest. I was researching different kind of lifestyle, right? And which one would be best for me when I moved to Canada. And that was when I stumbled upon van lifestyle. Um, I think at that time when I researched about van life on YouTube, I watched a lot of YouTube videos, of course, just like the rest of you. And I was like, I didn't know whether it was for me. I was a little bit skeptical at first, of course, because um, it was foreign. I I didn't feel relate to a lot of people that live in the van watching these videos, even though I thought the lifestyle was very interesting and I wanted to try it, but I didn't feel like it was relatable to me beside the aspect of the traveling. I guess it was because that they either European, Canadian, American. I didn't see a lot of Asian. So I was skeptical for that reason. I didn't know whether I could survive. I could actually carry on with this lifestyle. But when I considered all the benefits it offers, then I give it a second thought. And it was around the same time that I adopted Marco. Um, so he's one of the big motivation for me to live in the van because it could with privacy. I wanted to bring him to Canada with me. I adopted him in Vietnam. With the van lifestyle, we would have our own private place, and considering the low cost expenses, it would be the opportunity to just follow my passion and just explore myself instead of focusing on making money and finding a job and stabilize myself in one place. So it's basically all the criteria that I was looking for. And that was the reason why I decided to go for it, even though it was so strange for me at first, even though I was skeptical about it at first. But the more I do it, the more I did the research, I I was actually more excited about stepping into this new lifestyle. My biggest reason for it was because I wanted to explore, right? So that was, I didn't know how far that idea actually took me and led me on this path. I did not know that it was because that was a path of self-realization. I wasn't spiritual, when you think about spirituality, but I was curious about my life. I was curious about finding the truth. Um, and I was curious to see how everything unfold if I just give my heart, my passion. Um, because like I said, in my previous life, in previous chapter, I was practicing uh, the idea of following the heart. So I was curious to see how that would turn out. And this van lifestyle could afford to do that. So about a year into living van, I started to notice the change within myself. Especially, I didn't have to work so hard um, to afford the lifestyle. I actually was working part-time um, for a while when I first started, and I needed the time to readjust the lifestyle. It wasn't very easy to switch. If you are thinking about van life and you want to start it, give yourself some time and take it really slow and easy. At least that was for me, because it took me almost half a year to go and get used to the lifestyle. It wasn't like moving in and I was like, oh, it's amazing and all happy. It was a lot of frustration in the beginning. So definitely I question a lot whether it was suitable for me or not, and it's really myself over the limit. Like definitely got me out of my comfort zone a lot of time. Um, but regardless, I was consistent with it because I wanted to find out more, and I didn't want to give up. I wanted to explore, and I wanted to travel, also explore within myself as well. And I couldn't just go back because I was like, if I go back, then I failed my first being in Canada. So I just keep pushing forward and go forward with and make a little adjustment at a time. So in the book, I was describing how it was so uncomfortable for me to um, to use the portable toilet in my van because I couldn't stand it. I had to clean it afterward. um, I was so afraid of using it, so I had to rely on public restrooms at the time, even like park at McDonald's like 24/7. So you see videos like that, people complain about van life, not being able to find like good, beautiful parking places. You have to park in parking lots close to Walmart or McDonald's or Tim Hortons, or all the uh, industrial places. It was like that for me in the beginning until I decided, okay, I have to let go of this fear and let go of this comfort in order to gain more freedom. And it was all about active and mindset, right? So when I was able to switch, when I switched my perspective, I was like, I I can do this, and I would have more flexible to park wherever I want, and I didn't have so much restriction um, because I have to use public washroom. Um, so being so reliable and being independent was a game in van life for me. And after that, I was able to go and explore around outside Vancouver and all different remote places of BC. And that was when changes start to happen. That was when I felt a lot more connected to nature and within myself. The more I explore the outer, it gave me the opportunity to explore on the inner as well. So you probably know is inner, so outer, but the environment also have to reflect and influence on yourself and your body as well. So the more that you go into nature, the more you get the more you get quiet, and you get to spend a lot of yourself. And that is how you get to be more in touch and more in tune with yourself and with nature. Of course, all of these happen to me pretty much like naturally, even without my awareness that I was just following my passion, right? So that's how important it is to follow your passion and your heart, because it will guide to something that even like you don't know about it, but it's gonna have some certain kind of influence and certain impact on you. That is healing for you. And there's many different paths for healing. There's many different paths for enlightenment. I don't necessarily say that you would have to follow exactly what I do, but follow your own guidance. Um, Even if you're not healed, you could be healed by some other things that may be natural for you and is be beneficial for you. And that's the benefit of van life. Um, the biggest benefit of van life, actually, for me, even though I was of it, I didn't know so much about it, and and it's got me because it got me to be more in touch with I am. That was the reason why I became more creative, and I noticed the change in myself. Um, and I thought that was very interesting because I didn't think that I was that creative person. Taking photos. Um, I didn't think that I could write. I didn't think that I could even write a poem. But all of that came pretty much naturally because I was so close to nature, and band life gave me that vehicle to be in touch with myself and allows that healing process to take place. Um, and that happened because I wanted to explore myself. And eventually it led me down to this path to know who I am and to love myself, to accept myself, and that I can share this story to other people. So if you consider living in a van, if you have thought about it, there's so much like mainstream media have like shared this lifestyle is like, but what I invite you to see and to understand on this life. Hi Lotus, I invite you to see and understand on this life is a little deeper into this lifestyle. If you have that desire to travel, to explore, then go and do it. But observe yourself, learn something on the way. notice the change within yourself, because when you are able to see the patterns and the dots life, how everything happens and how everything is connected to lead to where you are right now, you'll be able to see the purpose, the reasons for your life. So isn't that so beautiful? This is how much traveling can impact and change you and help you to grow in a very deep and ground level. Um, this is tremendously beneficial for your human being, for growth, everything. So in my opinion, that everyone who interested in this lifestyle should really consider and at least have that intention, to explore not just the outside but also explore the inside. But you have to be aware of it and make that intention so you can invite that healing process, to happen to you and to help you to grow. If you make that is your intention, beside the fact that, oh, it's like it's gonna help you save money, is so you can afford a property, a different lifestyle, for instance, make an intention help you grow, to explore within yourself as well, and you will discover how much this lifestyle is going to impact and change you as a person. Because if it did for me, it can have others as well. Um, and I think that it is essential for us at this time in order to find our own voice and our own freedom and be our own authentic self. And because this lifestyle has allowed me to do that, like to be in touch with myself and to find my own freedom, because I set that intention in the beginning. I I make the intention to just explore in order, and that's the reason why it made the shift for me. So that's the last chapter. Very, very important. If you haven't read the last chapter, or you haven't watched the last live, um, I encourage you to really watch that live, because it's an important lesson to follow your passion and listen to your heart. I cannot even emphasize enough, because that's where everything me got me to van life, and it got me to where I am today because of that. So for those of you that consider to live this lifestyle, even if you're an immigrant, like me, like start something new, like you could have moved to a new place, or you could have got into a job or something like that. If you start something new in the beginning, make a change, because you knew you got into the new beginning because there's something that didn't work for you in the past, right? So you knew that there's something like that. So make the change to allow yourself to explore, that so that it help you to gain perspective and new knowledge and the new wisdom, and help you to grow as a person. Is that back, and cling on to a certain lifestyle, a certain relationship, or a certain property, or whatever, because you're so attached to it. Buddha said that attachment is suffering. Unless if you are able to let that go and try something new that would give you a of freedom and happiness and a chance of being authentic self, instead of trying to cling back to what wasn't meant for you, because what meant for you could be a lot bigger and a lot more than what you knew, right? So our imagination is limited compared to the universe, right? So allow that to guide you, your heart to connect to the universe. So you may deserve more than what you thought you deserve. So let that guide you so that you can embark on path. And now I realize that I'm so happy with my life here in Canada. If I didn't let the US go, if I didn't leave the country and I tried to cling so into that lifestyle, I wouldn't find myself to be happy from the inside. Um, and if I still attached to that corporate life, and even I bring that lifestyle and stop for corporate companies, I wouldn't be fulfilled. And that's what I did in Vancouver. It was kind of like still one foot in, foot out. I was still working for other companies. Even I enjoyed the job and I was interested in the products that it was selling, but deep down I knew there was something more. Deep down I knew that it wasn't meant for me. And so you really have to let all of that go and allow new to come into your life. Um, so that's what van life me, and I hope that for those of you that consider it, give it a chance to look at this lifestyle this way. Really observe yourself, because when you observe, you will be able to understand the game of life. Then you can play it. If you don't, it's kind of like a chess. I don't know if you familiar with playing a chess. Um, you kind of need to observe it before you can make the move. So it's the same here with life. You need to learn to observe yourself and the patterns of your life. Um, know what you really want in your heart and allow it to guide you. Um, I think that's the big message in this chapter. How I started my van life and how it makes an impact and changed me as a person. So much so that I wrote my first poem. Well, I don't think it was the first poem, but it was one of the first poems. And I would like to read the poem in this life because it's like a series of questions um, that when you read these questions, hopefully that it will intrigue you to think about your life, so you can reflect on it, and whether you have asked the questions and whether you have received the answers for these questions, because it's about asking the questions that kind of guide you to where you want to go in your life. And when you ask, you will receive. You may not receive at the time that you anticipate to receive the answer, you receive the answer when you meant to receive the answer, when you meant to know it at the moment. Okay, so these questions are, if you feel resonate with these questions, consider the source of transformation that happening within you. It means that there's a part of your soul that want to grow. There's a part of you that want to explore, and want to find the truth within life. How can you be true to yourself when you don't know who you are? How can you love when you don't know what love is? How do you live when you don't know what life is meant for you? How can you be happy with an empty soul? How do you know which direction to take when there are thousands of paths to choose? How do you know right or wrong in the world of controversy and contradiction? Are we all like walking on the street full of light? Why would you settle for less when you can have the best? Why would you choose ordinary when it can be extraordinary? Is comfort really worth it all? Or are we just weak and afraid to face the truth? So I wrote this poem when I think it was about 1 year after my van life. um, and I just started to question everything. I think that was the time that I really wanted to know about life. Um, and I was just there's something more that I wanted to explore, and I just thought that going into nature wasn't enough. I wanted to know more on the mysteries of life and how the universe actually really work, like why we really exist and what's the purpose of all of our lives. Like I wanted to know all of that. And that questions, of course the answer didn't come to me, but I think I know all the answers for those questions now, for myself. So ask yourself if you know the answers, and of course, is these answers are for you on only you know about your life. So continue to seeking and exploring, and just allow these answers to come to you as it comes, like on your life journey when you explore, find the answer for these questions. Hi, Van Life Hiker. So really, really think about it, and if you're interested in personal growth, let these questions deep in, ponder about it, um, reflect about your life, and let it guide you. Let these questions guide you. Craig, with your van life experience, you find yourself trying to learn van life tips? Um, I don't learn about van life tips anymore. I don't just figure out everything as I go, and as I kind of already have my own system, I just follow that. Like I don't change it that much, just to make it easy for myself. Because I found all the tips that shared, sometimes it works for them, sometimes it doesn't work for me. It's just because of the way that my van lay shine. So figure, like, it's helpful to learn these tips, and you get to know like all the resources that's out there. But yeah, you can use your problem solving. Something happened with um, there's too many chats coming through from Van Life Icon. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, I think it is helpful to see how other people live their van life, and you can definitely learn. But at a certain point, I find that I have to come up with my own solutions that works for me better. For instance, people like to shower at the truck stop. I like to shower at community centers. Some people like to go to the gym instead because for them. So it's all about finding out what really works for you, and until you get comfortable with lifestyle, then you have more freedom to explore the world and explore yourself. So there's the contrast there. Even though this lifestyle is all about getting out of comfort zone, but at the same time, you need a certain comfort in order to um, to be resistant, to be persistent with the lifestyles as well as like comfort is queen, right? That's that we can really push ourselves out of the out of the comfort. Um, you have to. I don't necessarily think that everyone have to experience van life. I wish for everyone is to be able to explore and travel in their own way, regardless of van life or not, because there's so many ways to travel. The reason why I cannot hop around to many different countries and van life is uh, I cannot fly to different countries because of Marco. Can explore other countries. Um, like my friend James the Nomad, that's what he does. He hopped around different country and just fly like the cheapest flight the next day. Where can I go the next day on the cheapest flight? um, so it's really up to you figure out what the lifestyle, what the job that suitable for you, and like I said, embrace it and learn from it and allow you to navigate your life, um, and to help you grow as a person. If in nature, uh, yeah, sure, like nature is very healing, but if that's not your style and there's other ways to heal, if even if you just travel between cities, learn from other people, their culture and their way of living will give you a lot more insights about yourself, and that in itself is also because it will give you some kind of information that you need about your life so you can heal and change. Next week I will talk about relationship and how it will help you grow. um, but yeah, there's many different ways to grow and evolve. Doesn't have to be one way. What I want people to understand about van life is the benefit, the personal development, the personal growth benefit of it. That is way beyond you can imagine. Um, that's not that's still not knowable. Like not a lot of people know about. And that's the message that here to share, and that's why I wanted to share my story. And I ask you um, to consider aspect of van life and learn something from it, especially if you consider doing it. And that's the reason why I wasn't shy about it. Just it's the first immigrant to Canada. um, if anything, I think be very helpful for immigrants. Maybe a single immigrant like me, not maybe can be a little bit difficult for family. um, and definitely you have to find a balance between luxury comfort. This lifestyle is, yes, it would get you out of comfort zone, but like I said earlier, you cannot find the comfort within it. You won't last long. um, you definitely gonna push a little too much and you're gonna get frustrated. So you have to find the sweet spot. So yeah, learn tips from other people, but be creative solving as well. So that's another thing about van life. It's gonna push you to be creative, like either like with art, writing, or also with problem solving as well, because nobody can solve your problem unless you have to solve it first yourself. And need help, then you will ask others to help you, and you have to know how you want to be helped first. Um, so are the major benefits of van life. So find that sweet spot to be comfortable with it, so that you can really enjoy it and make the best out of it, instead of giving up too quickly before you get to explore anything, and before you can reap the reward and the benefits of van life. I think that even if you just do it for a little bit, seasonal or just short term, kind of want to test it out. Even you're not successful, there's something about it's going to teach you some lessons that are going to be pretty meaningful, for you and for your life in general. But of course, if you look into understand these lessons also. So that's why I said you have to observe. You observe yourself, your life, how you live, and through that observation, you'll be able to understand the lessons. You can understand the game of life. Um, so yeah, I think um, this is what I feel humble and grateful for the most in van life. And that's the reason why I still want to continue, because that is one way for me to grow. Someone recently actually asked me how long I want to continue doing this, like whether I would consider like settle down and stay in one place and have my own. And my answer for that is that even if I settle down, um, I will always have that to travel. And because I enjoy my van life so much, so it's gonna be like at least half, because it's not only just the outlet for me, but it's a way for me to explore the world and grow myself. It's a tool for me to grow myself. So it will always be there. Um, I don't know if certain points gonna be different way of traveling, but for now, I still see it. Um, within the next year, just within the next year, I still see that this gonna be my lifestyle, and this is how I'm gonna live. Because not only because I so much, but because I can understand these lessons and the benefits that it offers to me, and there's more that I want to learn and to grow. So yeah, even if I have my own place, van life is still gonna be there for me. um, I think van life biker have something to say. Let me see. Can it be done with mid-sized van? Like I said, um, you would have to, with this kind of lifestyle, you would really have to make it to your comfort level. And everyone has different tolerance for comfort. Um, I know that for my family, like they're very different from me. Even if they travel, they like to have really nice place to stay, nice hotels and whatever. For me, I don't care so much about all of that. Um, for me, it's more about the adventure, but for them, it's more about the comfort. Uh, so we have different level of comfort. So to say if mid-sized van or a truck, a camper, or just a car, like, would it work? I don't know. I don't know whether it would work. I know my van works for me. I don't know at what level of comfort that you can let go, what you can actually tolerate. For me, just like having a decent place to sleep, to shower, that's good enough. If, of course, I want a little bit more room for Marco, and so can feel more comfortable there. But it was my van is kind of like at the minimum um, comfort that if I push it a little more, I don't think that I would feel comfortable. So that size uh, and all the amenities within my van, I think that was at my minimum level. If I go downgrade to to minivan or like mid-size van, like you said, I don't think it would be comfortable for me, and I don't think that I would be able to carry out a lifestyle for so long. So it's certainly it would be too cramped and too uncomfortable for me. um, it was uncomfortable for me during the winter time here. That's why I moved into an apartment because it's crazy cold and it's not safe. Know what your comfort level is and your safety level, what work for you, and go from there. I think that's more important for you to know when you choose what vehicle, what kind of van is suitable for you to go explore this lifestyle. A friend of mine actually tried out the van life after she for about a year, and she decided to try it out for 2 weeks with her boyfriend. And it, they rented a van. I don't think it was like a high roof van. I think it was like a long lower roof van. I think it was just as long as my van. But anyhow, and it was 2 weeks, and she was like, I think this is enough for me. So she wanted to try it for a really long time, but she didn't know what it's like until she actually experienced it, and she enjoyed it and she had fun with it, but she didn't think the lifestyle. So it's, if you're curious about it, you can always go rent a van like that and experiences for a. And I think it's very popular now that you can rent out vans for, I don't know, like a week, 2 weeks, or even a month, and go explore and try out the lifestyle to see what your comfort level is like before you can make a big commitment and jump into it without without knowing it and anything. That would be very risky. I don't think that you would be able to survive so long. So yeah, that's the long answer to when life cycle. um, for me, I did have to make a lot of consideration before I moved into my van. Also, that was the reason why I chose that van. Um, I did make a list of everything that was important for me. That it has to be high roof because otherwise it would So um, that was a solid deal for me. If the van is not high roof and I can inside, like I would not even consider anything else less than that. So you kind of need to narrow down and um, have a very clear vision for your van and have a very clear criteria what you actually want to have and to help you make decision what works for you and what doesn't work for you. That if you want to like go all out and you want to do this, because it can be a pretty big investment as well. For some people, is the minivan works for them and they can live in there for like over a year or so, and they feel comfortable living there. But I didn't think that would be comfortable enough for me. So yeah, again, it's your own choice. Only you know what works for you. I can't tell you what van is the best for you, because what works for me may not work for you, right? So some people would if they would consider having a low roof fan because it's consume a lot less gas and weight and more stealthy. But that wasn't a big deal for me. Like all of those things wasn't a big deal. So definitely we all have different ideas and have different criteria. I don't think there's anything else that I want to add here. See anything else on the chat? So Lourdes said, yeah, Lourdes, I agree with your answer there. That's pretty much the same as what I said. Um, so a lot of people wanted to convert the van instead of buy something that already pre-built. I bought my was pre-built. It was manufacturally built that way, and I just did some slight conversion on it. So again, here I said comfort level. For me, I didn't emphasize so much about this appearance of it. More so, I want to move in and I wanted to explore this van life. And because I didn't have any tools, I didn't think about renovation or conversion. That's why I didn't want to spend so much time doing it. I wanted to have everything ready for me. So I can focus on enjoying the lifestyle instead of building it. Because if I know myself, if I let it sit for too long, I may not do it at all. And if the project seems too get overwhelmed, I just gonna keep procrastinate. And I would not do this lifestyle at all. So I wanted to make it simple for myself, and it's not very ideal. The van is not very exactly like my dream van, but it was enough for me to live and explore. And that was more important for me. So I bring my comfort down so that I can have more adventures. I have more time to go explore and have my own adventure. That was more important for me. If if you want to keep up your comfort level, want to have the best in line kind of vein, on the fancy stuff, then you have to spend more time doing. So it's really up to you how you want to balance it and juggle between these things. For me, it's more about the experience than the renovation. I didn't want to spend doing the renovation. But yeah, I think I have heard that a lot of people spend like at least a year the renovation and not being able to enjoy the van life that much, and a lot of people actually have give up halfway because the project is just a little bit um I didn't want to get stuck at at that area like renovation, and I can go and live and enjoy and explore van life because that's more important to me. Once you would have to consider whether everything actually work so that you don't have to worry so think on a breakdown on you. You may have incidents and you know um, all that things. It's can so it's like I just have everything like good enough, good condition. Doesn't necessarily have to be the best looking or like the best looking van. But it was enough. Like I said, it was everything was enough for me to have adventurous lifestyle. It doesn't have to be the fanciest. Yeah, it's I don't think I asked that much. um, it was more important for me. The lessons I learned from it, the adventures, the fun, that was a bit more important than on luxury and the comfort. That's more meaningful to me. So if nothing else, um, van life bikers that you have lost motivation during the process, consistency. Your motivation. I hope you will find the motivation to finish your project. Yeah, that's the reason why I said make it like you have to know your sweet spot, and you need to know what's good in like what is more important for you, like having the best looking band or having the best experience of your life. um getting to enjoy the adventure. If you can afford it, yes, make it the best looking man, and go out there and enjoy it, explore. If you have on resources, on the help, on the money to help you do it, then yes, why not go for it. But if you don't, then consider other uh, alternative ways to help you get through. Yeah, like Lourdes says, just make it good enough. Know that when and where enough for you in order to help you make the decision and to be able to experience this the best way that you can. I hope you get to finish it, and I hope that you'll be able to have the experience of your life and really enjoy the reward for the effort that you have put into it. Do it for yourself. um yeah, I just think that if you can it, um then do it. uh but if you cannot, make it work for you. It's all about problem solving, about being creative, right? So that's the first challenge of van life right there. It's push you to grow. You want to live this lifestyle, it's already push you to grow in the beginning. Be patient and be persistent. So I think that's all I want to share with you in this live. um it was a fun chapter for me to write. I didn't talk so much my family because I think I have one live about that when I talk about my family, how they didn't really approve of me living the van lifestyle. I think I talked about that last year, so you can go and watch that live. But other than that, I would to talk about my book. So yeah, everything that I share with you is in this book. through alchemy. If you if you're not familiar with it, then you can check it out on Amazon. So you can check it out on Amazon. It's available on Amazon right now, but I'm working on extend my publication so that it can be available in different platforms, different places throughout the US and throughout the world as well. And so if you want to learn more about it, you can check out my book. The first chapter is available online for free on my website, livingthroughalchemy.com. If you have read the book, thank you, Lourdes. If you have read the book, please leave me a review or rate Amazon. I would really, really appreciate it because my goal for this year is to be able to help more people fighting and peace within themselves through the book. So first, you need to get the inspiration and the knowledge to reflect on your life to help you be more aware about your life and where you are in the world. And that's the purpose of this book because I think it would be very needed. My sound is broken. Is that better? I know sometimes it doesn't work very well. So I said the reason that I mentioned for this book is to help people find more freedom and peace within themselves by reflection and finding courage and intention to live differently, to find their own authentic voice. And that's why I said this was my goal this year is to bring this knowledge to as many people as possible. So if you read the book, help me to spread knowledge and share with other people. Apply the knowledge to yourself as well, and it will help you to be more in present, to be more aware of your life, so that you can grow. No matter what life live, really doesn't have to be van life or travel lifestyle, and that's the beauty of it. So the more you grow as a person, you'll be able to help other people around you to grow as well. And that's how we get the ripple effect. That's how we can make the changes in the world. Thank you, Lourdes. It's my honor as well to be able to do this and to help people and to bring inspiration and motivation in their life. And I really, really, really encourage people to travel, even not like me, travel by yourself. I can't emphasize enough because it just gives you so much wisdom and lessons from all different places, from all different people and culture. So it's how you get to understand life. And so you can get the book on Amazon. Again, don't forget to download it from my website, livingthroughalchemy.com. Again, don't forget to leave me ratings and reviews on Amazon. I would really appreciate it, and I would really love you for it to help me actually go and be part of the movement, changing the world, and make this place a better place with more freedom and peace. And tune in next Sunday. I think it's gonna be a pretty juicy topic because I think the next is all about relationships. So again, every Sunday 3:30 p.m. I'm going on live to talk about different theme and topic in my book and share with you my own experience and my life lessons. I think next week is gonna be pretty interesting topic to talk about. I think people are kind of curious. How can you have relationship? What? I kind of question about that myself too, actually. But there's a lot to learn and explore in the next chapter. So until then, I hope that you have amazing week ahead and productive and go explore and enjoy your life. Okay, see you next week then. Bye guys.